Hello everyone, welcome back to the Global Conflict News channel. Please subscribe my channel because today we are covering a story that has shaken Russia to its core. Moscow, the heart of Russian power and prestige, has come under siege as a wave of drone attacks tore through the capital, lighting up the night sky with fire and explosions. This shocking assault has not only rattled the physical security of the city but also pierced the psychological armor of a nation that once believed its capital to be untouchable. The strikes demonstrate the evolving face of modern warfare where low-cost, high-tech drones can bypass billion-dollar defense systems and deliver destruction in the heart of a superpower. From the exterior view, the impact was both dramatic and terrifying. Moscow's skyline, usually a symbol of stability and grandeur, became a battlefield overnight. Drones zipped across the skies like silent hunters, and suddenly the night erupted in fireballs as explosions rocked apartment complexes, commercial towers, and even areas near government offices. The glow of burning buildings painted the horizon red, while thick columns of smoke rose into the sky. Civilians scrambled through darkened streets, car alarms echoed endlessly, and the sense of order in one of the world's largest cities dissolved into chaos. Videos from residents captured flames leaping from high-rise windows, debris scattering on roads, and people shouting in fear. The exterior of Moscow, for decades insulated from direct attack, was transformed into a war zone. Inside the city, the situation was equally alarming though less visible. Families were jolted from sleep by the sound of explosions, forced to rush into basements or stairwells in panic. Children cried, parents tried to comfort them, and many wondered if the next drone was heading toward their building. For Muscovites who had followed the war from a distance, the conflict was no longer a distant event in Ukraine, it had arrived in their homes. Inside government corridors, the mood was tense and embarrassed. Leaders who had promised complete protection of the capital now faced humiliation, with angry questions rising about how such a massive breach of defenses was possible. The interior landscape of Moscow was filled with fear, confusion, and growing distrust, and the psychological toll may prove far more lasting than the physical damage. The performance of the drones in this assault is what stunned military analysts around the world. These were not traditional weapons like ballistic missiles or fighter jets. They were compact, relatively cheap, and remarkably effective. Traveling hundreds of kilometers, many of them flew low to the ground, avoiding radar and slipping past sophisticated detection systems. Once inside Moscow airspace, they struck with precision, hitting symbolic buildings and spreading panic across the city. Some flew in coordinated waves, overwhelming air defenses, while others attacked from different directions, making interception even more difficult. Their performance proved that swarm tactics and low-cost innovation could neutralize one of the world's most advanced air defense systems. For Ukraine, this was not just a tactical success but a statement. Moscow could be reached, and Russia's defenses could be broken. When examining safety features, the irony is unavoidable. Russia has spent decades building what it boasts are the most advanced air defense networks in the world. Systems like the S-400 and Pantsir are meant to create a protective dome over cities like Moscow. On this night, however, those safety features showed their limits. Interceptors lit up the skies, some drones were destroyed, but far too many slipped through and caused devastation. For the people of Moscow, the illusion of safety collapsed in a matter of hours. Meanwhile, the drones themselves had safety and stealth features that made them so effective. Their small size and low-altitude flight paths rendered them almost invisible to radar, and their pre-programmed navigation allowed them to strike targets with accuracy while avoiding detection until it was too late. The lesson here is that safety in modern war is not about massive systems of defense but about agility and the ability to adapt to new threats. The unique selling points of these drones are what make them the new face of warfare. Unlike massive missiles or advanced fighter jets, drones can be built quickly, launched in numbers, and directed with high precision. They offer a combination of speed, affordability, and adaptability that makes them the perfect weapon for asymmetric conflict. Their small radar signature makes them difficult to track, and their capacity to carry explosives allows them to strike both military and symbolic targets. But perhaps their most powerful selling point is psychological. Unlike traditional weapons, drones create constant uncertainty. They can appear at any time, anywhere, hovering silently before striking. This constant fear erodes civilian morale and forces the enemy to divert enormous resources to defense. In Moscow, the psychological impact of seeing the capital under fire was as damaging as the explosions themselves. Price is another factor that reveals the changing balance of power in modern war. A single kamikaze drone may cost a few $1,000s to build and deploy. By contrast, a Russian interceptor missile used to shoot it down can cost millions. This imbalance means Ukraine can launch dozens of drones at the price of a single Russian defense effort, forcing Moscow into a draining economic struggle. Beyond the direct military costs, Russia now faces billions in damages, repairs, and the hidden costs of lost confidence among its citizens. Meanwhile, Ukraine achieves maximum effect at minimal expense, a strategy that undermines not only Russia's military but also its economic endurance. The price gap is a weapon in itself, and one that Russia cannot ignore. In conclusion, the drone attacks that placed Moscow under siege have reshaped the perception of the conflict and revealed the vulnerabilities of a global power. For the first time in generations, Moscow burned under enemy strikes, and its people experienced the terror of war firsthand. The exterior devastation showed that the capital is no longer beyond reach, the interior revealed a population gripped by fear, and the performance of the drones proved that innovation can outsmart traditional defense systems. Russia's safety measures faltered, its image of invulnerability cracked, and its citizens are now left questioning their leaders' promises. The unique selling points of these drones, cheap, precise, and psychologically devastating, combined with their low price, make them a formidable tool in modern warfare. As the fire in Moscow fades, the lessons remain bright and undeniable. No city is truly safe, no defense is unbreakable, and the battlefield of the future belongs not only to the largest armies but to those who can adapt with the smartest technology. This was not just an attack on Moscow's skyline, it was an assault on Russia's sense of security and power, and it will echo through the rest of this conflict and beyond.